welcome to another episode of Break the Cycle. Me, your host, Josh Smith. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Thursday. We're back, baby.
Yeah, we're back. We're live.
We're live. It's been 2 weeks since we've done a show. And I understand that I keep talking about how we're going to be more consistent, but then shit happens. It's hard when you got 7 kids, bro.
Yeah.
Understandable. We got
shit immune system.
Yeah, dude. It's like living in a fucking petri dish, dude, every day. And it was so bad a week ago that I spent 80 hours in the bathroom basically straight.
Absolutely.
It was horrible. I couldn't keep any water in me whatsoever. I definitely lost 10 pounds. And I'm glad to be alive. That much I'll tell you for sure. Very glad to be alive. Guys, before we get into it, let's check out the sponsors. Of course, we got TopLobster.com, the man, the myth, the legend, my good friend and partner on Break Cycle. We can get this great. It didn't have to be this way. Ron Paul hoodie that you see me wearing tonight by using BTC at checkout. Or you can join a Patreon, subscribe star, become a member of the YouTube channel under all of our videos by hitting the join link, where you can get into a private Discord server and get up to 30% off of all of Top's new gear 2 weeks before it goes to the general public. Good stuff. You can also get the great shirt that Ryan's wearing tonight. That is the Break the Cycle logo purple shirt. That's pretty dope. Good stuff.
That's a
if
good
you guys want to
color
buy
for
that, go ahead and go over there and check that out. And sign up for our show, man. And of course, PSOC.coffee. With this small coffee roasting business, PSOC will sell delicious micro batch roasted coffee online while donating at least $1 of every pound sold to worthy foreign aid organizations like Yemen Relief and Reconstruction Foundation. Their initial focus will be on Yemen, Ethiopian coffee. They'll also have some affordable Central American varieties available too. However, PSOC will always donate at least $1 from every pound sold to worthy foreign aid organizations. When you buy PSOC coffee, you're not only buying great coffee, you have a chance to support the economies of the countries struggling against the effects of war, support stellar private aid foundations doing life-saving work abroad, support stateside peace activists like myself and my good friend Will Hobson, who started this wonderful company. The name PSOC will be the counter to Warhawk, who is aggressively pro-war. This company will be aggressively pro-peace. Sign up today for the email list at pshawk.coffee. You get all the updates on that good stuff when it goes live. Guys, I'm just happy to be back. Let's check in with my two wonderful co-hosts. Of course, we've got Mr. Ryan Kurtzer. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing excited to be back. I missed casting. Time anyone will ever listen to me.
And of course, our good friend AJ. Sir, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. I survived my expedition into Illinois.
You did.
I made it
brought
back alive.
Goodies. We won't talk about what kind of goodies, but you brought back some goodies.
I did.
Yeah, absolutely. You look like you brought back some.
I did. With 2 bags of grass.
With his fucking sunglasses on and the light.
Yeah.
Is the light too bright for you guys tonight? Is that what's going on?
A little bit.
We could turn it down.
It was higher than normal. No, it's okay. I can chill with the sunglasses, but it's probably brighter than Ryan.
That's all.
There we go.
You guys look better that way.
Well,
it's his ADHD medicine.
I am a bitch. My eyes are a bitch.
It's very.
I've got blue eyes.
Yeah, I do too. And I was just about to bring that up. It's for one, blue eyes is a genetic anomaly.
Yes.
It's actually not supposed to exist. But people with blue eyes have more eye trouble, and we're much more affected by light.
It's a trade-off for being the chosen people.
Yes, it is. It really is.
My wife, every time she steps down the screen thing, and I'm like,
yeah, dude.
I don't even know if mine or like you. I don't like.
We have the automatic electronic blinds in our house, and I'll wake up, and as soon as I wake up, it's they're all going down because I just can't stand the light shine. And Julia's like, I love all these windows and how open the house is, and I'm like, because I can't. It like hurts my head.
Lights.
I'm very sensitive to light, and it sucks, dude. And it gives me migraines and all kinds. But you already know about it. I got bad migraines. Guys, lots going on in the world today. We don't have a guest tonight, so we figured we'd just talk about. I appropriately named this episode the Trump versus Desantis death match because they are going at it right now. It's fucking hilarious to watch because look, you got the Trump sycophants. I mean, they are just going to vote Trump. It doesn't fucking matter that he's passed more gun legislation than any other Republican since Ronald Reagan. It doesn't matter that he was the Operation Warp Speed vaccine pusher man. It doesn't matter that he didn't pardon anybody he said he was going to pardon. It doesn't matter that he, didn't end any wars. It doesn't matter to these people at all. Like, they don't give a shit. They don't care. It's Trump because for them it's unfinished business. Right? 2020 to them was it was stolen. The election was stolen, and they have to go and finish this business, this unfinished business. It doesn't matter what Trump does. It doesn't matter who he is or what he's done. It doesn't matter that he didn't drain the swamp. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
Now, are you describing the entire MAGA when they say a MAGA crowd? Like,
I mean,
I used to think that was more of a solidified group, and now I think there's maybe a couple different factions.
You have
People
to
are walking back
close to your cutting out because I had to put a real big filter on it, but they're saying you're cutting in and out.
Yep, I saw that. I adjusted it so it's up a little bit more now.
Okay. I think it's the MAGA crowd from 2016.
Yeah,
still.
but I think some of them are stepping away.
I think some have stepped away, and of course, I think DeSantis has a lot more support than I think Trump supporters are realizing.
Yeah.
And I get the gripes with DeSantis too. Don't get me wrong. He might as well be a fucking Bush. You know what I mean? I mean, he's just as kowtowing to Israel, and he's just as interested in continuing forever wars. And to me, that's a non-starter for me. You know, I am the anti-war principle guy first. That's my first principle, outside of my family and community. You know, my first grand national scale principle is always going to be the anti-war principle. And I think that he's still very pro-war. You know, I do think that all the great stuff he did through COVID made a lot of the right-leaning libertarians or conservative libertarians think that he was the guy. But I think that they're not looking at his other policies, like they call him Red Flag Ron for a reason. And he's Red Flag Ron for a reason. But Trump is no better when it comes to guns.
No.
But Trump didn't start a whole
bump stock ban, and then he had the quote about take the guns first. We'll worry about
the
due
which
process
is totally
later.
red flag laws.
And listen,
in action,
that was I can also see somebody saying that was one of those throwaway lines. Like he might have said that, and then somebody grabs him by the elbow and goes, "Actually, constitutionally, you can't." Maybe like, "Oh yeah, never mind."
Well,
that's a throwaway line too.
You know, we're gonna have a lot of fun on this show over the next year, running up to the presidential election.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I'm gonna have full on breakdowns of everything because I'm not in the Libertarian Party. I don't give a fuck, right?
It's be wild.
When I started the show, I was an at-large rep on the national committee, and then the vice chair of the national committee, and I had to pick and choose what I talked about very carefully. It was like required, you know what I mean, by the bylaws, that I wasn't out there endorsing or doing this, or I couldn't even make it seem like I was endorsing Republicans or saying they were good on anything, or I would get in trouble. I don't have to have that problem anymore. So I get to talk about all this shit running up to this presidential election. I didn't get to in the last one. I'm very excited about that.
I'm excited too.
And this will be an entertaining one. Like Trump and DeSantis, they're not perfect, but we could be having Jeb Bush versus Chris Christie.
I do. Here's one thing.
Jesus.
I'm very interested in the RFK election, or the RFK presidential bid as well. Now, I'm not an RFK supporter. But
you guys gotta fill me in on this guy, because I just know fringe stuff.
Well,
I haven't dug into it.
He's a Kennedy.
Oh yeah, I know who he is now. I know his background.
And
The CIA has the opportunity to do one of the funniest things possible because he wants to abolish them.
Yeah, he does actually want to abolish the CIA. See, there's so many things about RFK that I fucking love, dude.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't a single person running in any party, except for maybe the Libertarian Party.
It sounds like shit that's too good to be true. Every time I hear something
his
about
healthcare
it's
freedom
like too good
shit
to be
is
true.
spot on, bro. I mean, he is big time. Has always been for healthcare freedom. I mean, you can look at his record. He's a lawyer who's litigated cases against Big Pharma numerous amounts of times. Okay? I mean, I know that he would push back on the pharmaceutical industry. I know that he would, and I know that these mandates and all this shit really burnt him up, and he was going to bat for people. That's why my fiance loves him so much, because she's her first principle on a national scale is healthcare freedom, right? And so that's first principle for her. And I agree, like that's a good principle. We should have healthcare freedom. But if you just dig a little bit into RFK's background, right, you'll see that he's literally made posts on Twitter calling to repeal the Second Amendment entirely.
What?
Yes.
What was in what context?
In the context of school shootings. We need to get rid of it's time to get rid of the Second Amendment in its entirety, he said. He's also a climate change pusher, which
Uh-oh.
in my opinion, is no better than the pharmaceutical industry pushers.
Right.
I think they're on the same level.
Same gameplay.
It's the same science,
play.
trust the science play. It's the same exact thing. And
it's settled. The science is settled.
Science is
guys.
settled, dude.
I almost think that climate change might be worse because, like, with Gen Z especially, there are kids developing full-on like panic disorders because of
world's
how
away.
hard it's being pushed.
Yeah. Well, that's the same thing with the COVID stuff too. I mean, these kids were freaking out if they saw someone in public that didn't have a mask on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's that extreme like it's almost, I don't even know how to explain it right. It's them scaring you. I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, it's an extreme form of fear, panic, and porn, right?
It's
fire
smoke from a
and
Canadian
brimstone.
fire.
Yeah, it's smoke from
a Canadian fire, and they tell them it's pollution.
Oh, we're going to talk a lot about that tonight because I want to, as somebody who came from the West Coast and has been dealing with these
Deforestation,
progressive deforestation policies for fucking decades. Like, I've watched it go from like 1 or 2 forest fires in California a year to the whole fucking state burning every year.
So is the Canadian thing because of the drought, or is it bad policies?
No, it's part of the drought, but also a lot of it is these places with these progressive liberals that have taken over forestation, right, and forest policy, have turned these places into fucking tinder boxes. And look, so the Paradise Fire in California, I was in California when that happened. I was about 4 hours away. The smoke was so thick you couldn't see. 4 hours away from the fire, the smoke was so thick that you couldn't see the car in front of you on the freeway within 20 feet.
That's wild.
And it burned down the whole entire town. The whole entire town of Paradise was washed completely, entirely. And that was started by PG&E, the electrical company there. They had a faulty box. And but the thing about it was they've had faulty boxes in California my whole life. Dude, it's always been like that, right?
Yeah.
But in the past, 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, they would go in and clear all the underbrush. They would cut down trees. Trees wouldn't be 5 inches apart from each other,
Right.
because we were allowed to. That's where probably the biggest paper industry in the country was coming from California and Oregon and Washington too. But and then they shut it all down. The logging industry's shut down. I mean, it's all shut down. There are barely any more loggers there at all. It used to be a huge logging industry there. And so they had requirements, right, in California that they had to follow, like regulations. Like you could only tear down a tree that was within 20 feet of another tree or something. You know what I mean? It had to be like that. So they actually had to leave trees. But while they were going through and chopping down these trees for the logging industry, they were clearing all the underbrush, all the pine needles, all the dead pine needles, all that shit. They were clearing it all and using that too, right? They don't do that anymore. And so one fucking electrical arc could burn down an entire city.
Yep. And it did.
And I'm watching these progressive liberals in New York, dude, freak out about the smoke, dude.
Yeah.
They're freaking out about it. They're like, oh my God,
it's post-apocalyptic.
Post-apocalyptic. It's Armageddon. I'm like, dude, I went through this 4 years ago in California, a year and a half before that in Oregon when we had the big gorge fire there. And another year before that in Oregon, and the year before that, I slept in the middle of a fucking forest fire in Crater Lake. Crater Lake is. Yeah. I told that story on here. Yeah, we went to Crater Lake. Crater Lake was 5 hours away from where I lived, so we drove down there to go camping and didn't even realize there was a forest fire going on. And we were like, "Fuck it!" And we went and got our campsite and camped in the middle of the fucking and it was funny because we stopped on the top of Crater Lake to look down at Crater Lake and you couldn't see the lake. That's how smoky it was. And we camped in that shit. And we camped in it. And these people in New York are like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. It's all climate change. I'm like, dude, we've been dealing with this on the West Coast.
West Coast, like, this is your first time.
First time, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
It really is funny to me, dude. But then you see places like here in Iowa where it gets hella hot in the summer, right? And we have tons of forest here, right?
Yeah.
And don't burn down.
No.
At all. Not even a little bit. So how can you blame it on climate change when it's not happening in places that don't have progressive deforestation policies? You can't.
There's so much farmland here that you have to have conservation. We have very strong conservation system set up for the wildlife and for the trees.
Yeah. You ever been to Virginia?
Yeah, I've been to Virginia several times.
Yeah, it's all trees. That's all it is.
Forest.
My friend and I drove there, and we just got claustrophobic driving because like 6 feet off of the highway at all times was just this dense ass bunch of trees. And that's all the entire state was, and we don't see it burning down.
I also believe that those fires there in southern Canada looked pretty purposely started. Have you seen the?
Okay, I saw the radar.
You seen the heat map, the radar map.
Yeah.
Where they all started at the same time.
There's like 6 or 7 tiny points that all start plumes simultaneously. And they're on a map. It looks like several miles away.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
From each other.
I think every one of those inches is like 20 miles or something.
It just looked like a controlled burn.
Yeah.
It was like
it looked like
everybody go.
Yeah. They literally all started at the same exact time.
Weird.
You could see it on the radar. I mean,
you know how many fires there are? 450.
Whoops.
And over 200 of them.
That's nothing though. I mean, I tell you right now, dude, there was a time 2016 or 17 in the summer when I was in Oregon, Southern Washington actually, that the whole West Coast had over 1,500 fires going on at one time.
At one time.
Yeah. Ooh. It was never like that when I was a kid. Never, ever, ever. And it's not, the temperature isn't any different than it was when I lived there when I was a kid. But you know what is different is deforestation policies that have been implemented there. That's what's changed.
I don't remember smoke being in Iowa when I was younger. I could be wrong.
Right.
But I don't remember that ever happening. Now it's like every couple of years now we have a really bad air quality day and it's hazy and shit.
Well, usually, but we just had it here. We just had that here from the fires in Canada.
Yeah.
A couple days last week. And I'll tell you, man,
wasn't it Colorado last time?
If I wanted to listen, dude, if I was the federal government and I was in charge of national forests, and then I was the state government and I was in charge of state forests, right? And I had signed on to this New World Order, World Economic Forum policy of climate change. And I wanted to prove that it was real. The very first thing that I would do, I would stop the deforestation policies entirely.
Yep.
I would say you can't log here anymore. Okay. And then we're going to show you what the temperature does now that you're not logging here, right? And then the temperature is
a
half a degree warmer than it was before.
Yeah.
And now there's forest fires everywhere. No, dude, that's not how it works. But if I was a government, and that's how I wanted to make sure that people went along with my new policies of green energy and we have to do these things, that was the first thing that I would do. Without a doubt, I would stop the logging industry entirely and let the forest burn. But they were the ones that kept the forest from burning.
Why? So, what's the big attraction to that policy? I don't understand the argument from the other side about
what else do they have
plans. I'm just saying they don't think the resources are for us to use for some reason.
It's not about that. It's all about control. It's always about control. And we talk about it on the show all the time. We did it all through COVID, right? We know that they need these emergencies to operate because when you're not relying on the government because of an emergency, you no longer need the government.
Yeah.
And a lot of people aren't smart enough to figure that out. A lot of people are, and a lot of people are figuring it out. And COVID made a lot of people figure it out. And now no one's afraid of COVID anymore. Meanwhile, the WEF and now the WHO and the CDC and all these organizations are still pushing this passport idea. I don't know if you've heard that. They just released a whole fucking dossier about it. Vaccine passports, bro. Health passports.
Oh, for the whole world.
For the whole world.
Passport.
Global passporting to travel.
That.
Yep. Okay. And I went on the post from the World Health Organization. Mm-hmm. I didn't see one single. I went through thousands of comments, and I didn't see one single in favor comment, bro. Not one. I went through the quote tweets. Every single quote tweet was just fucking dragging them through the mud. They have to be sitting in some fucking room somewhere going, this isn't working.
Yeah.
This isn't working.
Yeah.
This isn't working. What are we going to do now? What are we going to do now?
No, I don't think they are. I think this isn't working yet is their idea.
No, they know it's not
power
working.
grid's next.
They know it's not going to work. That will be the straw that breaks the camel's back if they do try to implement that. I promise you. Worldwide, dude. That will be the straw. And listen, dude, over the last 10 years, I've just been waiting to see the straw drop. I mean, we all are, dude. We all know that there's people that are just fed the fuck up and are done entirely with this constant tyranny over bullshit.
Can we talk about Gavin Newsom's Amendment 28?
I haven't really looked into it yet. We can, yeah.
Oh,
Give
yeah.
us the skinny.
It's just if you pull it up on Twitter, he tweeted it, and there's 4 major components. See if I can remember them. First one was 21 and older. They moved the age for firearms purchase to 21 and older.
Oh, that's not surprising at all.
Okay, that's the first one.
That's for all firearms.
I'm
already 21
I'm
for
blanking on
handguns.
2 and 3. I'm blanking on 2 and 3. Fourth was a ban, assault weapon ban.
Yeah, which is
Total
like,
ban.
What the fuck is an assault weapon?
Well, they're gonna say probably everything AR platform, HK, MP5.
I'll tell you, that'll be the straw that
subgun
breaks
style.
the camel's back in California, dude.
Yeah, I commented civil fucking war.
And you don't have to think. You don't have to
Civil,
think. I know. Listen, as somebody who comes from California, I'm able to speak on this. There's a lot of people in California that have moved out of the city entirely, and there's a lot. I mean, a lot of fucking mountain towns and farmlands and valleys and fucking deserts and shit in California that people don't understand. That those people are the sleeping giant of California.
Yeah.
Okay. All these people in the city, they live in a fucking city bubble. They travel on public transportation. They never go anywhere. You know what I mean? They can't afford to. Can't afford to fucking go anywhere, dude.
So is a silent majority like in rural California, shall we say, mostly conservative?
Almost entirely, yeah. And there's a part of Northern California, once you get past like Chico State, right, like up past Sacramento, there's a whole part of California that wants to secede from California with Southern Oregon and call it Jones. What do they call it? Jones.
Well,
something.
There
The
were
state of Jones or whatever.
Oh my god.
19 counties today that voted to secede from Oregon and Idaho.
Well, no, there was a state in Oregon that kicked out the government entirely, or a city in Oregon, Southern Oregon, that kicked out the government entirely. Yeah, and they were like that for quite some time. They wouldn't even use the post office. They kicked the post office out. They made their own private post office, and it was like a little logging town, dude, in Southern Oregon.
Yeah.
Of course, it didn't last that long because the government came back and were like, no, because they can't let anybody think that that's how things can operate, because it can't operate that way just fine. But yeah, dude, there's parts of Southern Oregon and Northern California that want to secede entirely from both states and become the free state of Jones.
Yeah. Like the movie.
Something like that, yeah. I may be wrong. I may be getting the name wrong. Yeah, dude, I don't think that the people understand. Like, all these people in the city that are protesting every day and breaking shit and smashing shit and voting for all these people and enjoying all these terrible fucking policies that the state keeps putting out, they won't step foot outside of that city, bro. They won't do it.
No.
Because the people that are outside the cities don't pay attention to any of those fucking laws, dude. It's old guns, bro. They've been there a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're not registered. I would venture to say that the majority of guns in that state are not registered.
I just heard of a dude in New York that he's been carrying since the early 90s.
Yeah.
Okay, illegally, the same gun. Carries it daily. He shot I think he got mugged or something like that, shot the guy, killed him. And so they're prosecuting him with a gun crime.
Of course they are, yeah.
You know?
Of course.
But yeah, he goes, yeah, what is it? It's 3 years if I'm caught with the gun.
Yeah.
And he's like, but I'm dead if I'm without it.
Right.
So
I'd rather do 3 years in prison.
he goes,
than
I'd
be
rather
gone
do
from my
3
family
years.
forever,
So he
yeah.
was like, yeah, I shot the guy. I would have done it, either way. But
yeah, and he won't, and he will be able to get off of the murder charge with self-defense.
yeah. I think it doesn't matter if it's an illegal gun in self-defense.
Right.
If you pick up a gun, you're a prohibited person. You shoot somebody, you're not gonna. It's still self-defense, but you get the gun
What does
charge.
suck is that he'll never get that gun back, though.
No.
He's gonna have to get an
Yeah.
address in another state, like
Yeah.
New Hampshire, and go buy a gun and then go back.
I don't think they put pics of it. That'd be cool. I bet it's pretty salty.
I bet
it's worn.
I bet it's a 1911, bro. I bet he was.
I bet it's an old Glock though. Well, 90s, early 90s. It might just be an old Glock 19.
It could be, or he was carrying a 1911. Is he an older guy?
It's possible.
Older guy.
It could be a little revolver too. You never know.
Could be carrying.
They never said what it was. They just said it's semi-auto.
38 special. Or something.
Yeah, probably.
Bro, I shot a 38 special off-duty officers edition.
Oh yeah.
And it was outdoor range, bro. I had never fired a revolver. It was my first time ever firing a revolver. And that thing, I was like, it hurt my hands, dude. I'm like, holy shit. Holy fuck. It was only about that big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
this
different.
little tiny snub nose with a fucking little handle on it. And man, that thing, it almost broke my wrist. And I'm a big guy, you know what I mean? But I've been thinking about getting a revolver. Sounds like fun.
Gotta get the 500.
Let's talk about the attack on Elliot Page.
Yes.
AJ,
Elliot Page was viciously attacked. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't read the whole
Chicago subway at 2:00 in the morning on the way to get some food.
The juxtaposition of Elliot Page at that point in time was previously Ellen Page. So at that point, Ellen Page was on Colbert's show talking about the Jussie Smollett incident and like really playing up the drama. There was crying. It was a weird performance.
Oh, we need to preface this though.
Yeah.
For the people that don't understand, the day that she reported this attack is the same day that she released her book.
Oh, the book's coming out. Yeah. So, free plug for Elliot Page. Page Boy. Available on Amazon right now, bookstores. Right? So
it was just horrible.
So, like, motherfucker just plugged Elliot Page's book.
Fake. Yeah. It's so obviously fake. What was the move there? Yeah. But anyway, the claim is Elliot Page was attacked by, I think, 2 guys, and they said, can I say what they said?
I don't know.
Can I say it?
What is it?
We're going to F-bash you, fag bash.
Oh, right. Yeah, fag bash, yeah.
We're going to fag bash you. F. Can we say the F word? Okay, yeah. Maggot. They said maggot, but with an F. They said, we're gonna fag bash you, maggot.
Right.
And it's like, that's not what you say.
And then they said, this is maggot country.
Yeah. Then they said maggot country. No, they didn't say that. But
it's
dude,
MAGA country.
Does anybody believe this?
No.
Who says that?
I'll believe it if Dave Chappelle believes it.
Okay, Ryan, if you really hated a trans person, what would you say if you were attacking them physically? Go ahead.
Yeah. I try to.
What would you actually say?
Listen. Ellen Page, Elliot Page, whatever.
Yeah, Elliot Page
lives in Los Angeles, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
This didn't happen.
Didn't happen. There's no way that 2 people are
like
just rolling down fucking Hollywood Boulevard like, let's go F bashing today, dude. Right? Like, it's not. I try to explain people this.
Threw a pair of fake tits at her.
To people too. Like when I was growing up as a kid, I knew 1 gay person in my suburb, but we went to San Francisco like every weekend, dude. And there's a whole district, the Castro district, that's got rainbow flags everywhere. Before anywhere else in the country had rainbow flags hanging, the Castro district in San Francisco is where Harvey Milk and all that shit. I mean, they've been out and proud for a long time. There's gay people everywhere. And the gay people that I knew in San Francisco would beat the fuck out of me. And they beat the fuck out of a lot of other people I know too. And they're just like normal run-of-the-mill fucking people hanging out at the bar, but they like buttholes or whatever, right? and I grew up around a lot of gay people like that were my friends, that were family friends, and fucking I try to explain to people, like, in San Francisco, if I had been walking around San Francisco with a baseball bat saying, hey, I'm here to F bash you, I would have got my ass kicked. Right? Like immediately, on the spot, without fucking saying. I mean,
giant bear is gonna come out of a bar and be like, "What?"
With fucking nipple clamps on and shit, yeah, and like the fucking YMCA leather vest,
like a Mad Max leather outfit.
And
what the fuck did you say?
The shit out of you, dude. Right?
There'll be a whole crowd of people behind him snapping.
Oh yeah, just Z snaps and shit, dude. Oh, dude. Oh, totally. And it's like this just didn't happen in LA, dude. I'm sorry. It doesn't. There's nowhere in Listen, it's not fucking Wyoming, dude. It's California, bro. Okay? This isn't the fucking Matthew Shepard case in like middle of Podunk nowhere, Wyoming. No. Okay? There's
fucking no meth involved here.
This is fucking Los Angeles, bro. Okay? There's no F bashing taking place in Los Angeles. There's no one rolling down Rodeo like, let's go F bashing today, bro. It's not a thing. It's not happening. And
fucking wild.
If it did happen, it was the 2 bravest dudes in the whole fucking world, bro.
Yeah.
The bravest homophobes you've ever met in your life.
If it did happen, they deserve to get away with it.
Like, they went F-bashing in Los Angeles to a high-profile actor. Probably not going to happen, dude.
Like, if you're a Marvel superhero and you're bulletproof.
Yeah, it probably.
Maybe.
And their timing on it was just immaculate.
Just perfect timing. And then it just happened to be the same day she announced Page Boy release. You know, it's almost like, wow, serendipitous, bro.
Unbelievable.
Serendipitous.
That was crazy.
Totally serendipitous. How can anybody believe it? I don't even know. And of course, the liberal left is like, oh yeah, the mean MAGA Republicans are out there beating up trans people in the streets, and it's a trans genocide. And
it's believe all women, not believe all men.
Yeah.
So,
well, and this, I've talked about the trans genocide thing on here so much. It's like, what genocide, you dumb fucks? What? There is no genocide.
Ab implants.
But yeah,
ab implants.
It looks like ab implants.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I just the trans genocide
or
thing.
Elliot Page is super ripped. Either way,
since I think it was Tim Pool that initially made that connection on Twitter about the book. Since that, I haven't seen anyone talk about it in like.
Well, you're gonna look like a
supportive
fucking
light.
idiot if you're supporting this because it was obviously staged or entirely made up. I don't know.
Again, the most camera-laden place in America, L.A.
Right.
And there's no footage of this?
No, of course not, dude.
Okay.
It was 2:30 in the morning on the subway on the way to get a sandwich or something.
Yeah, serious.
But yeah, it didn't happen. Of all the things that didn't happen, this didn't happen the most. You know what I mean? I don't know. We started off talking about Trump and DeSantis, and
let's talk about Tim Scott.
Yes, go ahead.
Tim Scott. You look at me like you don't know who Tim Scott is.
I know the name, but I couldn't tell you what he do.
He's a conservative.
Oh my God, he had this viral moment on was The View? Yeah, it was The View.
Yeah.
Called out The View in his little monologue, and it was amazing. I'm sure he's going to use it for a campaign ad, but it was a takedown of the woke culture, basically. And he had kind of a weird speech about how the message to our young people, especially black young people, shouldn't be that you have to be the exception. And it was, it was nuanced. It was good.
Who's more racist? Let's play a game. Let's play a game. We're gonna play a quick game. Who's more racist? Two people. Two white people.
Okay, two white people.
The two scenarios here are two white people.
Got it.
Speaking to a black person. I want you to tell me who is more racist than person A, conservative.
That person.
Hold on.
Person A.
Good answer. If you were pandering, but we're not. We don't pander on this show.
Conservative. All right.
Okay. Conservative, white person, man. Great. Doesn't want to live in a neighborhood that has a lot of black people.
Okay.
That's it. Doesn't want them to be sent to Africa or any of the other racist shit that you hear from racists. Just doesn't want to live in a neighborhood.
Would prefer a different neighborhood.
Would prefer a neighborhood that's not full of black people.
Okay.
Okay. Person B, white, gay, liberal, telling a crowd of black people that they are never going to be able to accomplish anything because they're black.
Exactly. Yeah.
Who, in your opinion, A or B, is the more racist person?
Person B, of course.
Person
A is just good at math. That's
it's me. I'm the racist.
It's me. I'm person
No,
A.
did you see the AI? The AI question?
No.
So, and this is brilliant. So I've been doing the sample AI program on my phone. I can only ask it 3 questions a day, or I have to pay. So I have to give, it's like 3 wishes every day, right? But I tried to do the 13% and different percentages for crime and stuff, and it spits back, woke stuff. This person did, if 13% of my cattle are causing a problem for the herd, what should I do about those 13% of my cattle?
And people are like,
and the computer's like, get rid of them.
Yeah.
Fucking fence them off, separate them from the rest of the cows. Duh, that's the only solution. And they're like, gotcha.
Yeah, gotcha.
And
it's crazy, dude.
Yeah, man. Listen, I have a similar analogy I do, and it's like you're walking down the street, and it's a white guy in a hoodie. He's like 40. He's walking towards you. Or it's a black guy in a hoodie, and he's walking towards you. Which person are you more intimidated by? And if you ask people to be honest, maybe it's the black guy, right? It's a disproportionate amount of crime. It's literally a math question.
Right.
But people won't do that. They'll say, "Oh, it doesn't matter what their race is." So the price for being woke is ignoring that math and endangering yourself.
Right.
So,
and we see it all the time
because you'd rather be beat up than be racist.
It's like a meme at this point, right? Like
yeah.
The pay the toll.
Right.
It's like a meme at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
it's wild.
And I did grow up in a neighborhood full of black people. Yeah. I did.
And the black people will tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
If you have it in that equation, if you change the race to they're both black and they don't want white people in their neighborhood, it's the same thing.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Well, and we learned all this with the guy who created Dilbert, right? Scott
Adams.
Scott Adams, right? Like that poll that got put out that he referenced was a poll of just aimed at black people.
Yeah.
And do you hate white people? And it was like 85% of the people that answered,
it was it okay to be white?
Yeah, is it okay
right?
to be white or something?
It's okay to be white. Is that statement racist or not? I think is what it was, wasn't it?
And it was
Something
like the overwhelming majority answered
no, it's not okay.
And
there was something more extreme.
No, it wasn't that extreme. And then all Scott did was say, "You should move."
Yeah,
you should move, and everyone lost their fucking mind.
He didn't say go burn a cross on someone's lawn.
No.
He didn't say
you should move.
Don't give that person a job. He just said, hey, if you don't like those people, then maybe you shouldn't live next to them.
Yeah, you should.
That's all he said,
yeah.
And that was just a incendiary statement.
Well, it's so
I think it was something like, "Do you like white people?" Like 65% of them said
no. It was way more than that. It was like in the 80s, dude.
It was very.
It was
high.
like very. High.
There were several questions on the survey that he went over, but it was just something like the majority said they don't like white people. Like, okay, you should. No. If these people say they don't like you, you probably shouldn't be around them.
I started following this page on Twitter called BIPOC Doing Racism.
Oh God.
Right. And he retweets. He goes through and looks for people of color that are making Twitter posts that are, like, first of all, in direct violation of Twitter's rules.
Oh, that's
like calling for the death of all white people and shit. And then he retweets them with a screenshot above them so that once they get taken down, he still has the screenshot, right?
Oh, nice.
And dude, it's every day, all day long, bro. All day long.
Yeah.
And people are literally proudly saying, "Kill all the whites, kill all the whites, kill all the whites," and nobody gets on them for it at all, right?
Yeah.
But if you were to make that post yourself about any other race, oh my God, dude, you'd lose your job.
Yep.
You'd lose your house. You'd lose your doctor probably wouldn't see you anymore.
And the funny part about that is it's disproportionately white. So if you talk about people that hate white people,
right?
There's more white people that hate white people.
Oh yeah.
Than black people that hate white people.
Oh, no doubt. There's no doubt.
I just hate white women.
We all do. Buddy. We all do. But it's a double-edged.
They hate you.
They hate you too. Yeah.
They hate you.
It's a double-edged sword, bro. Because we hate them, but we can't live without them. You know what I mean?
It's true.
I don't know how you're going to preserve a society for your children without them at this point, right? So, but yeah, dude, it's just. I almost said the 18 words there.
Yep.
That's not what I meant. I just want everyone to know that's not what I swear I wasn't trying to play off a Nazi slogan. Because I hate socialists.
And I don't think, when we talk about just not being racist, but you can't just not be racist. You have to be anti-racist.
That was Joe.
Thing,
that was
right?
Joe's quote. Yeah.
Grandma
Joe.
Oh yeah. Yes.
It's not enough to be.
It's not enough to be not racist. You have to be
actively
anti-racist.
Yeah. Which is bullshit.
It's being racist. It's instructing someone to be racist.
Right.
Suck Ibram Kennedy's cock. Suck Ibram Kennedy's cock. That's what that's saying.
I want to fight that guy, dude. Him and the other one too.
Do you think he's been punched in the face?
Huh? No, dude.
His
face is way too pretty to have been.
Not
I don't
a
think
chance.
so.
I think we should invite him on the show and then do our face punching that day. Oh. Maybe I don't.
By the way, before you leave,
but hey, there's a customary thing we do on the show at the end of every show with our guests that come in the studio. It's called face punching. It's a lot of fun. We just see how long you could stand up.
Oh, speaking of, we can talk about Moms for Liberty.
We
briefly
need to talk. That's a perfect segue.
Yeah,
into that, bro.
It is.
Listen,
FPLC, right?
I've been very clear about what I feel about the ADL and fucking SPLC and all these people like that. There's a clip floating around to me out there that has a lot of effort talking about them when they wrote an article about the caucus and me and then ICE and all these people and who else? Liberty Lockdown and like all this shit, right?
Yep.
And I said, fuck you guys. Like, I don't give a shit what you label me because your words don't mean anything to me. But the Moms for Liberty group has now been labeled a hate group.
Yep.
They're basically
they equal the Proud Boys now.
Yeah, they equal the Proud Boys. They're basically
a fucking
group.
Pepe.
They're basically a pro-life group. That's what they are.
Yeah.
And they're nonpartisan.
Yep.
They're nonpartisan. They'll work with anybody that will push pro-life legislation.
Yep.
I believe they had a lot to do with getting Kim Reynolds elected here.
So I met them at the Iowa State Fair when we had the LPIA booth, and we're having the booth again this year. It'll be awesome. Same spot, but they came by and were talking to us about it's when the abortion debate was super hot, and it's always hot. But they were arguing a more of a pro-life stance, and they were trying to get us to take a position on it. We were trying to explain that the Libertarian Party in Iowa, we don't have a position on it. It's just not an issue that we have a platform made. You know what I mean? And it's kind of hard to explain that to some people. That, hey, it's not part of the deal, right? It's just you get too locked in, one way or the other, and it's destructive. And we recognize it's destructive. So we just don't want government control. That's basically it.
One of my issues with the party is that they're not
oh yeah, I understand
pro-life
and there are a lot of issues. A lot of people have issues with it. I totally get it, and I've heard almost every angle of it. And I think at this point, I'm against government intervention. That's just something that I feel is personal to a woman, and so regardless of the decision they make, I don't think they should go to jail for what they do, and I don't think the government should step in and try and separate.
I think the doctors should go to jail for performing abortions. We talked about
yeah, we talked about that. Yeah,
and I would love the SPLC to label me as a hate group for saying that. That would be way cooler.
Explain to me what the charge. What would the charge be? Like, what would you?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
It would be murder.
Yeah.
So, murder one.
So that'd go to the Supreme Court, wouldn't it?
It'd be murder
about whether that's murder or not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be, in my opinion, at least murder two.
Yeah.
Well, it would be murder one since it's premeditated.
Yeah.
You'd have to prove
like
that.
you have to schedule an appointment. It's premeditated.
It'd be a lot harder. I'll tell you, as somebody performing a medical procedure, so we had to think back about the assisted suicide before it was legal, right? Dr. Kevorkian, right, helped people commit suicide, and he was charged with murder one, and they couldn't get him on murder one, so they had to get him on murder two, because it's much harder to prove premeditation when it was like a medical procedure done to try to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I believe I believe it would be much easier for the state to get a conviction on murder two than murder when it comes to preborn. But yeah, I used to be I don't take a stance on the debate. No,
yeah.
Dude, I'm so far past that now.
See, the black market scares me too much.
It was
too much.
When there was a black market for abortions in the fucking olden days.
Yeah,
there was less than 1/6 of the percent of the abortions that take place.
I gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I want there to only be a black market because it's a lot less safe. And people are going to think.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
They're going to think a lot harder before they go to get an abortion in a back alley because, hey, you might die.
Yeah.
And if you die killing your child, well, that's on you.
And the people that can just afford to fly someplace and just go to Mexico and do it or whatever, they're going to do that anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, interesting.
The debate has and always will come down to
the people who are
question.
a lot of the.
But look how we're not fucking freaking out.
No,
see how we're having this discussion and it's just about, oh, okay, that's interesting. Well, tell me about that.
But
we're not completely flipping out.
Yeah, it all comes down to where does life begin? That is the entirety of the question. Because once it is life, take it's murder.
And I believe that it's a life. I do. I firmly believe that. And a lot of people when I get into this debate on Twitter or whatever, they're like, "Oh, you're trying to legislate Christian morality." Dude, I felt this way when I wasn't a Christian.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I realize there's a religious component. I don't. Man, that seems to suck up a lot of the debate. Yeah. I don't see that really as a religious. More of it just kind of like, hey, do you want more people here or less?
It's basic ethics.
Do you like people?
It's basic ethics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like at some point in our society, people decided it was okay to kill somebody just because they weren't fully developed yet. And I don't think that's okay. I think and it is, maybe it is a morality issue. I don't think it's moral to kill people.
Yeah.
I don't come to that conclusion because of my religious beliefs, though. It's purely ethics for me. And for me, like the whole libertarian thing, right? Like for me, the reason why I was so drawn to libertarianism in the first place was because of ethics. I'm an ethical person. I like to be honest. I teach my kids this. It's important to be honest. It's important to have integrity. Like even when nobody's looking, dude, it's important. Even when you think you can get away with it, it's important because that's the kind of person that you're going to be. That's the legacy you're going to leave your children, right? That's a very important thing to me. And so like for me, I'm very ethics driven when it comes to, I'm never trying to get over on people. You know what I mean? Like I'm never trying to lie to people or misdirect them for my own gain. Like I don't do that shit, dude. Like I'm not a fan of that. And a lot of these people, that are pro-abortion would probably steal your wallet if they got the chance. And that's the truth, dude. You know what I mean? It's like at some point you have to sit down and be like, do you really believe it's ethical to kill a baby just because it's not born yet? Or are you just kind of a piece of shit? You know what I mean? Like you really have to ask yourself that. Because you can't I don't know how anybody can look at the situation like a 6-month-old baby or whatever, right? Or 6-month-old preborn, right? Being sucked out of the womb and killed. I don't know how any person in their right fucking mind can sit down and say, yeah, that's ethical. It's totally cool.
Nah, see,
it's not a baby yet.
I think that's a very small percentage of the people on the pro side.
I don't.
I do. I really do. When you talk to people and sit them down and you explain what's actually happening, you'll find there's a very small percentage that actually supports late term abortions. And it is a smaller percentage of the ones they do. Almost most of them are within 12 weeks. First 12 weeks, right. First trimester. Most of them are pretty early when it's like, oh shit, they made a mistake. They were using birth control.
Got a heartbeat at 8 weeks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I'm just saying, I think there is a case to be made for somebody that's they're trying to be responsible with the reproductive health, and it's a fucking accident. And it's whether you say it's a happy accident. Some people don't say it's a happy accident. Some people freak the fuck out and they go, I can't support a baby right now. My boyfriend's in prison. My fucking, there's situations. Choices,
no,
I get it. I totally get it. I'm just saying, I can see from the other side, some people are just like, fuck, I made a mistake. I found out I was pregnant a week later.
Yeah.
I went and got an abortion.
I do deviate a little bit from the staunchly pro-life people sometimes too, especially with
the people that are just like black
situation
and white.
With the raped 12-year-old girl.
Oh
dude.
yeah, no, that's not.
Like, sorry, man, I'm not
happens once every 20 years.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be the person. I'm not gonna be the person that. Hey, listen, okay, if you support that girl being forced to carry a baby that's 12 years old,
that's fucked
who
up.
was raped, if you support that and you think that's ethical, you should be the one that has to go and tell her to her face.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to do it. I'm certainly not.
Hey, by the way.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, we know you're only 12. You just graduated the 6th grade. You've been raped. I know it's terrible. Everything sucks. But right now you have to carry this baby to
give me a ball.
Like I couldn't be the person to tell her that.
Right.
So if you believe that it's ethical to say that that 12-year-old child has to have that baby, you have to be the one to go tell to her face and explain to her why. Like, so there is some deviations I have. You know what I mean? Which, if I was religious, if it was because of my religion, I wouldn't have these deviations probably.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
But for me, it's an ethics thing. It's always going to be an ethics thing. Is it ethical to kill something? It's not. It's not ethical to kill something that's not for food, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And so this is a situation. I know it's such a wedge fucking issue for the freedom movement too, right? It's really none of us have anything.
The Moms for Liberty thing right there. Yeah. That's why I kept going, guys, we don't have a position on this. But don't you really think that?
And I do. I believe that it should be illegal. I believe that doctors who do it should be prosecuted. And I think we should force it back into back alleys because it would be a lot less happening. Right now it's used as a form of conception or
yeah. Oh yeah.
You know.
Multiples.
Yeah. In those fringe cases that you brought up, like that 12-year-old, first thing we need to do is fucking prosecute the rapist.
Yeah. And not just prosecute.
Oh yeah, that's a given. That's
not
a given.
Just prosecute. You know how I feel about rapists, especially kitty rapists.
Yeah, wood chipper immediately.
I think it's absolutely ethical to put somebody feet first into that has.
I like firing squad too. It's pretty elegant.
Yeah, it's a waste of ammo. Ammo's really expensive right now.
Yeah, it's
you can use
it's
one
cheap.
wood chipper for many.
I will supply the ammo. I will supply the ammo.
I would
for
gladly
free.
buy the ammo for it too.
But there
It is
was
a waste
like
of
a
ammo.
there
you
was like
imagine those
that
donation
one
buckets?
fringe case like a year ago, and there were no charges pressed against the rapist.
Right.
Like, what are we doing?
Right.
Why is this guy still in the same household?
Well, and it's that's probably one of the saddest parts of our justice system. Our justice system is fucked in this country.
It's broken.
Don't get me wrong. It's
fucking broken.
It's so broken, dude. Anybody that thinks our justice system is good is an idiot. I mean, seriously, they haven't paid attention to the last 25 years. It's such a fucking mess, dude. And we got people like, you could just look at one single case like Ross Ulbricht, the federal case, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where Ross is doing 2 life sentences plus 20 years for starting a website that people sold drugs on. Okay. He never sold drugs on there. There's no evidence that he did anything. They dragged him through court, said that he tried to do a murder for hire, dropped that charge because they couldn't prove it. There was no proof. Even the guy who had the murder for hire against him said that it wasn't Ross.
Yeah. It was circumstantial evidence
At
that they
best.
had
At
around
best.
him.
At best, dude.
At best.
And
yeah.
he got dragged through the mud as this guy who tried to have someone murdered. And they dropped the charge, never even filed that charge on him. I don't think the charge was ever even filed. They just dragged him, paraded him around the media as that person, and then railroaded him for the website.
He tweets.
And that 20 years were for fake IDs.
Yeah.
Yep. And
false ID.
Yeah, false IDs, dude. And you think that that's a good and fair and ethical justice system that also will only give a pedophile like 2.5 years? No, motherfucker, it's fucked up. It should be the other way around. At most.
I discovered something on my expedition to Illinois about the gun. The gun laws in Illinois, guys, are extremely fucked up. So yeah, Pritzker, it's JD Pritzker, I believe, is the governor there, right?
He's a fat piece of shit. Yeah,
man, bad governor. So apparently, they've got recreational
Can
and
I just
medical.
say that Illinois and Minnesota really has to stop embarrassing the rest of the Midwest?
Yes,
fuck, dude.
So Illinois has got cannabis, legal, recreational, right? You go to dispensary, it's state taxed. So if you have a medical card, if you are prescribed medical cannabis in Illinois, you are precluded from purchasing a firearm. Okay, you cannot purchase or own a firearm with a medical card.
Yeah.
Period. I also, this is what I didn't know, if you go to the dispensary, just a private citizen in Illinois, and you have to show your license, you're on record, you get flagged, you cannot purchase a firearm for 1 year from the date of that visit.
Wow, dude. Wow.
So they are
Not in
clamping
Illinois.
it down.
Not in Illinois. You still buy one in Iowa.
You can still buy one. Yeah, absolutely. This doesn't apply to Iowa residents that travel there and go to the dispensary.
You know what the scariest
which may or may not
travel
have
you
happened.
can do as a gun holder and carrier? You know, the scariest travel you can do is from here to Indiana. I learned that the hard way.
Yes.
It's very
yes.
scary because Indiana is
a friend of mine
also-
was texting updates today. He went to Indiana for a like a trailblazer class or like a bushcraft class.
Oh, sure.
And so he had to go through Illinois, and he's like, he disassembled his firearm, put it in different spots, I guess, or something. Did everything he legally, crossed
they
every
require
T
you
to do
that,
it,
yeah.
and crossed Illinois. And then he texted us when he was out. He's like, I'm in Indiana. I reassembled my gun. Fucked up.
He's a much less scared man than I am, I guess, because I fucking did not. And I was like, I'm not going this close to Chicago unarmed, bro. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do it. We one time we had an LNC meeting in Chicago since I lived here. And so we drove there and we were on our way back home. And we had to get gas, and I realized we're on the south side of Chicago.
Nice.
Fuck, dude, you got to be kidding me, bro. And so I actually stopped in to get gas, and I had to tell Julia,
Just like sea walk to the pump.
dude, it was scary, bro. Like legit. Like I'm from Oakland area, so I know that it can be scary. But dude, it's like I had to have the Julia and Adric, like I was like, lock the doors, don't get out of the car, stay here till I'm back. But I'm not gonna go anywhere like that without a gun. Sorry, I'm not gonna do it. I don't give a fuck, dude. I don't care at all. But I will say that drive from Des Moines, Iowa, to South Bend, Indiana to see a Notre Dame game is the most butt clenching drive you will make as a gun owner and carrier. Unless you're driving the long way through California, I guess.
They're looking for him too.
Oh, they are, dude.
They pull you over for on the,
and
on the highway.
If you get pulled over close to Chicago with an Iowa driver's license and plates, good chance they're going to try to find a reason to pull you because they're gonna know that you're probably carrying, because everyone in Iowa carries a gun, dude. Everybody, dude. I've met very few people here that don't carry guns on a daily basis, and they know that in Illinois.
Thank God.
And look at our gun crime compared to the state right next to us.
Yeah.
Look at the difference.
I mean, listen, knock on wood, okay? They had that shooting at the it was like a Head Start thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it was 2 black kids came in. They had some beef or whatever, and like they shot the owner. I mean, we went ham. But besides that, we don't have school shootings here. Correct?
I don't think there's
sometimes we'll see a gun on campus. Now there's one by East, but it wasn't. It was like off school grounds.
And it was a gang fight.
It wasn't an East kid. It was a North kid. And,
it happens, but it's nothing like fucking Chicago.
We have violence, but nothing like Chicago, where they have the strictest gun laws in the country.
We got 2 more topics to cover. We're at an hour, but I do want to talk about Elon Musk responding to our dear friend Top Lobster. Because that shit was fucking hilarious. If you have not seen it, Top Lobster, I don't even remember what Top said. He said,
yeah, we should read it for context.
Yeah, let's
pull it up.
Do you remember it?
Something like they're taking or
adrenochrome
or
hate the Jays.
Yeah.
Let me find it.
There's a picture.
Yeah.
Which way
We
Western?
gotta pull a tweet.
Biden and
here.
Elon replied,
he made a bunch of them though. I mean, it was just that he kept posting that picture of Mel Gibson all buff with the San Diego shirt on. he put one that's like 3 times 10 ADL reprimandation, 5 times 5 Holocaust denial, 7 times 3 rabbi bashings. Let's see. What did he say? It was hella funny. I'm getting Blue Chew ads on Top Lobster's page. He'd be so pissed if he did that right now. He'd be so mad. I'm trying to find it. You guys find it yet?
I didn't find it. No, I was looking at my replies.
He just
legendary.
He posts way more than anybody else.
Yeah, I just realized that.
What?
Top, slow down.
He's really going in on it. That's fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah,
he hit 16,000. He's gonna pass me up in followers, dude.
Started spamming.
He deserves
as soon
it.
As Elon.
Yeah, dude, it was fucking hilarious. Trying to get to, because Elon, what did Elon say?
Yeah, Elon was just like,
He said
is Mel Gibson really ripped like that?
Yeah, that's it. That's all he said. And everybody lost their fucking minds,
yeah.
dude.
There were like a dozen articles an hour about it, and it was incredible.
Yeah, so Top Lobster is now labeled as an anti-Semite, and now they're labeling Elon an anti-Semite. And it's like the Venom movie where it just covers everything. Everything's anti-Semitic now.
Everything's anti-Semitic.
Everything that touches that tweet is anti-Semitic.
I
believe the hype.
Top, you fucking post way.
I just noticed. I went to it and I went, dude, I'm never gonna find this thing.
I'm getting there. Oh, then he started posting ripped pictures of Elon. Yep. You get like this, Elon. That was fucking hilarious. If you guys aren't following Top Lobster, you need to go follow Top.
Yeah, it's a good follow.
Twitter. He's one of the.
I'll go retweet a bunch of that later tonight.
Yeah, I'll retweet it from my page too. But anyways, it was really, really funny. He basically just said you can either eat adrenochrome or hate the Jays. You can't do both. And Elon's like, wow, is Mel Gibson really that ripped?
And then he deleted the tweet.
And
like
then
2 hours later.
Elon deleted the tweet once he realized what the Jays were.
Yeah.
And fucking, oh my God. It was so good. And yeah, there's articles.
It was the Toronto Blue Jays, guys. I swear.
And it sucks because Elon's autistic as fuck, dude, right? Like legitimately diagnosed Asperger's, right? And like he didn't fucking know, dude.
And he doesn't care. He doesn't care.
He doesn't give a shit either. But he didn't know.
It's funny.
You know what I mean? He didn't know that that's what that meant. But how did he find Top Lobster's post about Mel Gibson? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. It's probably something to do with the redheaded libertarian because Elon follows her. I ended up.
I'll ever get that great Elon follow. I probably talk too much shit about him to get it, but I do like Elon.
I like him.
I think he's cool, dude.
Yeah.
I think he does a lot of things because he wants to make society a better place. Mm-hmm. He's not like Jeff Bezos, who is really just wanting to amass as much wealth as possible. I do honestly believe that Elon Musk would spend like 99% of his net worth if it would help us.
Yeah,
I believe
that before.
I believe it. I believe that. When he says it, I believe it, dude. Yeah. And I don't think, I think this censoring of the Daily Wire shit was really fucking dumb, but I don't think it was entirely his call.
Well, apparently they're to try community note
his own employees, dude.
Yeah,
I would fire the fuck.
Sounds like Project Veritas.
I would fire the fuck out of this. Don't get me started on Project Veritas.
Dude.
1 year, bro. It's going to be 1 year, and they will be gone. Veritas will be gone in 1 year, dude. I guarantee it.
Nobody gives a shit about him.
Nobody cares about him. Well, they
destroyed themselves.
Well, and they just got a new president and CEO, right? And it's this woman who actually founded Acorn Journalism with
Wait, what?
Keith. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And so
they're
like,
running.
And it was like, to me, it was like the greatest fucking grasp I've ever seen in my life, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I can't remember her name, dude, but she founded Acorn Journalism with James O'Keefe, and now she's like the new James O'Keefe at Veritas, dude. She was the one who did she's done a bunch of undercover fucking things too, but she's no James O'Keefe, right?
Yeah.
And to me, it was like they were like, "There's one play we have here. This is it. This is all we can do.
It's gotta work.
It's gotta work. If this doesn't work, we're fucking done." Because they know that. I mean, anybody in their right mind that knew about Project Veritas thought it was just James O'Keefe. I mean, even I was like, James O'Keefe has to own this, right? Like it's all his, right? Because there's nobody else, like there's no other name attached to that whole organization that anybody fucking knows. You know what I mean? And so I give it 1 year and Veritas is done. 1 year. Because to me, this was their last power play, this one that nobody knows. And it's a white woman. So no one wants to listen. Shriek. You know what I mean? So I don't know, dude.
They fucked up the Ashley Biden thing. I really wish.
It's all.
Got away again.
We're getting to the end of this thing for the night, guys. But we do have a super chat from our good friend Level Zero, who's been a member channel for fucking ever now. Thank you, sir. You got that gold. I remember putting those BTC logos in there for you guys and thinking no one's ever gonna get the gold. And there's some people in here that have the gold one, and I appreciate you guys, dude. Thank you.
And that little anime profile picture,
that very small last bit of revenue that the show's making right now, because it's basically on life support at this point. Yeah, it's
come on, guys,
almost flatlining. $5 super chat.
We need a $5,000 super chat right now.
Yeah, no one's gonna do it.
Come on, guys.
Don't send that. Don't ever send us a $5,000 super chat. Send it through
why not
PayPal or Patreon, because fucking
YouTube will suck
YouTube takes
that
like
dry.
half.
Google takes a third.
Yeah,
a third. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate the people that subscribe on Google. I really do, but they do take a third of everything. Level Zero, $5 super chat. He said, lighter topic. Thoughts on Mike Pence and Chris Christie joining the Republican fray with zero chance of success. Boy, am I excited. I'm excited because listen, dude, we get to see. Hold on, let me pick my mic up. We get to see Mike Pence debate Donald Trump.
Oh God,
it's gonna be fucking hilarious, dude. Listen,
you did nothing.
I would almost support Mike Pence, dude, if he would run on a platform of just we need to take care of the people calling for lynching the vice president in this country problem. I would support him the whole time. It'd be fucking hilarious if he ran on that platform and fucking electroshock therapy for the gays.
Oh, dude. And the t-shirts should be his head with the fly. He needs to have the fly
for real, bro. And Chris Christie's just gonna give us the memes, bro. The memes are gonna be so sweet. I can't wait. Oh my god,
I've met Chris Christie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he?
I have a picture with him.
Did you buy him a sandwich or anything, dude?
No, but it was at a diner in Cedar Rapids.
It makes sense.
Just you, and then just like you just saw his chest. Like he's taller than the picture. Like,
no,
have I ever told you guys?
I may be taller than him.
Have I ever told you guys at the time that I left Barack Obama hanging for a handshake?
No
I've never
way.
told you that story before?
That's alpha as shit.
Have I never told you that story?
No.
It's one of the funniest stories I have in my entire life, and I fucking
Tell it.
Oh my god, dude!
Tell it, dude.
I don't even know if I've ever told it on the show before.
Do it.
Oh, okay. So, I used to work at a skilled nursing facility in Portland, Oregon, in the Northeast area, right? And right next, it used to be an old church, like a coven, actually like a coven, like a nunnery. The nuns lived.
Okay.
There's a little house out front that when the pastor had died, he gifted that to the facility. The facility was owned by a big mega corporation that owns facilities, and I was the director of environmental and maintenance. And right next door, there was a little diner, cafe, like old, been there for fucking ever. And I'd go there in the mornings. I'd get to work. I'd check in. I'd do my meeting. I'd get my schedule set up for all my employees for the day. And then I'd go over there and I'd grab a bagel and cream cheese and orange juice or coffee, right? Every day. I did this every day. And I had heard that Barack Obama was going to be in Portland and all this shit, but I never really thought about it. You know what I mean? And so it's like 9 o'clock in the morning or something. And it's when the whole place is just full of veterans. They're all like old Vietnam shit in the diner. And
So
I'd go
basically
over,
the safest place in Portland.
yeah, there's a little bar, there's a little bar. And I'd set up the little bar. And the northeast of Portland is not like the downtown part of Portland, dude. It's different. That's another thing. Portland's split up too, dude. Like all that shit you see, all the bad shit about Portland is all in downtown Portland, dude. That's not the surrounding suburb area. And so I'm getting my bagel. I'm sitting there eating my fucking bagel at the bar, and I look out, and there's like a fucking like a motorcade of cars coming by, black cars, like Secret Service or whatever, and they're all stopping. And then the limo thing rolls up, and Barack Obama gets out, comes walking into the fucking diner, dude.
Holy shit!
Like, no
Wait, what
shit.
year is this? He's president, right? He's already elected.
Yeah, he
or
was
was he
definitely
running?
elected already. He was definitely
Okay.
president. It had to be like
This is like
it had to be after 2012.
okay,
like-
after
like-
2012 election. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was around 2012, 2013, maybe
Okay.
2014. I don't know.
So he's the re-elected Barack.
And I don't
Obama.
remember what he was there for. I don't. But
Okay.
so he comes walking into the fucking cafe as I'm like paid and on my way out.
Hey, coming in for a bagel.
And
Hello, I'm Barack Obama.
I'm walking like beelining at him with the fucking and I'm just trying to go out the door, dude. I'm gonna
Yeah.
walk back to my because I fucking already hated Obama at this point. I had worked with Ron Paul in 08 and then was pushing.
So you're just trying to bounce.
I'm just trying to get the fuck out of there, dude. And he puts his hand down as I'm walking by, and I just walked right past him, dude, out the door and back to my facility, bro. And the next day in the newspaper, he visited this diner and sat down and was speaking with veterans.
My fucking
And,
god.
and so I fucking literally just left Barack Obama hanging on a handshake.
What the hell? What's going on?
It's pretty
don't
bomb,
like me.
dude. I look back at it now and I'm like, I should have just shook his fucking hand, dude. It was
Yeah, dude.
it's the president of the United States of
Like-
America. I don't like the guy, but you know what I
You
mean.
upset
It's a
him so
better
much
story,
he
though.
decided to
It's a better
bomb
story.
Libya.
It was a way better story.
Oh,
Yeah, I walked right past him. The Secret Service guys he had with him, everybody just walked right past him, dude. Right past him. But apparently he was doing an event there to sit down with veterans from Portland and talk about vet issues. And I'm a veteran. I could have been like in
Yeah.
the paper and on the little, I'm sure they had like news clippings and shit. And fucking, I could have been on all that. And I just
Wow.
walked right the fuck out, dude. Pretty savage. Savage story. My kids know about it. I've told other people. It's happened so long ago now. I just don't think about it as much, but I used to think about it a lot. I used to think about that I left the president of the United States of America hanging on a handshake. I used to think about it a lot, dude. What are you drinking over there, AJ? What is that?
It's
Yes.
Gatorade.
Oh, it looked like Mountain Dew. Yeah,
It's Mountain Dew-ish.
yeah. Gatorade gives
Original Gatorade.
me Gatorade
lime.
gives me the fucking heartburn.
Oh, really?
I've learned that anything with citric acid gives me
Oh.
fucking bad heartburn.
Oh, I feed upon it.
So when
great.
I had the bad diarrhea for the 80 hours, the first couple days I started drinking Gatorade, and then I just got hella bad heartburn.
Oh.
So I had to start going and get the like flavorless Pedialyte with no citric acid in it, and it fucking
Jesus.
sucks, dude. It's just like salt water, like thick salt water. Oh,
Ooh.
but I needed electrolytes. I thought I was gonna die.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Anyways, we gotta get out of here, guys. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us. AJ, you got anything before we go?
Follow me on Twitter. My Twitter followers have kind of stagnated. So please follow me on Twitter. Poison_tip.
Follow that, man.
Yeah,
he's still Chinese spy balloon free.
I'm Chinese spy balloon free, and I'll be posting my TikToks on my Twitter.
You got another TikTok account?
I do.
They haven't.
I'm very careful with it. I have account warning right now, and I have some good ones on there. So, I have a really awesome one of Joe. It's a compilation of Joe Biden's trips and falls.
That's good. I like that
voiceover.
Do you remember the old press conference he did? Played the song.
Yes.
I made a TikTok of him doing that, but as the music starts, it's Rick rolling, and he's like smiling and shit, and they fucking they took the sound away from the fucking because they gave me a copyright, and I was like,
Bullshit.
that was fucking hilarious, dude.
Ram Ranch would have been another great option.
Well, I tried to at first I did it with "Fuck the Police" by NWA.
Oh yeah,
right?
that'd be good too.
And it looked hella funny because he's like smiling and like pointing to the phone and shit.
Good.
And I think it was a rap song that he played, so I thought it would be better.
Yeah,
but
it was.
They
It
took
was
that
some
down
rap song.
immediately as soon as I put that up. Ryan, you got anything before we go?
What song wasn't it?
Despacito.
Yeah, Despacito.
Fucking Justin Bieber, Despacito, dude.
Despacito.
And he was
Sorry,
like
Ryan,
rocking
sorry.
out to it too.
Yeah.
Well, you got anything, Ryan? Before we go?
Follow me on Twitter at BulldogGamer28. Give me some yep cocks in the chat. I forgot to ask for that at the beginning of the show. We're like out of practice, so I forgot to get my cock.
Posthumous yup cock.
Yeah, he's not getting any cocks lately, dude. Because he's about to have a baby. He's got to cool it on the cocks. Cause you got to give up some cocks. We did bully you into procreating, though. I'm still proud of that.
No one has to bully me
we
into
bullied
having
you.
sex.
No. Now he's playing the no one has to bully me shit. But like 2 months ago, he's like, listen, we're not gonna have a baby until we're ready, until all the college loans are paid off.
Pay off our debts.
And guess what?
Completely.
And guess what? Now you're
No one
having
had to bully me into having sex.
no,
like
but we bullied you into conception.
the less than liberal use of protection. That was
We bullied him.
that might have been influenced.
We bullied him into procreating, bro. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of us, buddy. I'm proud of your boy. Anyways,
Awesome.
guys, I love you to death. We'll see. There may be a show Tuesday and Thursday. There may just be a show Thursday. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel after the weekend. I do have to work all weekend. I love you guys to death. Thanks for hanging out with us. I know I've been inconsistent, and hopefully we can get over that hump and not be inconsistent more often. It's my fault. It's not Ryan and AJ's fault. I promise you, it's all my fault. But I love you guys to death. I will see you Tuesday or Thursday. Until then, don't forget to break the cycle.
Due to legal reasons, I just have to explain. The lyrics of my last song may seem to contain a violent call to action in the verse and refrain, but I just meant it in Minecraft. The helicopter part was in reference to GTA 5 and the things you do. So any violence you commit, I am not an excuse, because I just meant it in Minecraft. Well, Chipper is my friend and he's constantly cold. Accusations of incitement getting totally old. Make your own choices, yeah, you have control, because I just meant it in Minecraft. Obviously I would never advocate force, unless there's due process and a trial, of course. And if you're convicted, we will make you a corpse in Minecraft, just in Minecraft. Nothing I mean, you know it. No product theaters cause it closed to COVID.